Land of my umbilical cord, I love you, Trinidad and Tobago. If loving you is wrong, I do not want to be right, not one bit. I love you, Trinidad and Tobago. Hi, my name is Leah Leonardsen. I was born Leah Passy. I was born in Fatima, Laventel, Desperados. I'm a Desperados woman. I'm here to talk to you about a book I published here in America, in Indiana, and I'm hoping that it will help people in the Caribbean, people in Trinidad and Tobago, and people in the Caribbean, or wherever people need help, and hopefully they will not make some of the mistake I made in publishing with Vanity Press. Me doing this video is not for anyone to go out and buy this book. This book is a slave. It's slaving because I do not collect royalties on this. So far, all I've collected in 20 years is 60 cents. And I know about slavery. You know, my father, mother came to Trinidad as a slave, indented laborer from India. So I know what slavery is. And this book is a slave here in America. So I'll be back. I don't know if I had gotten an agent, if things would have been any different. I don't know. I can't see at this point, you know, back then, you know, being in the Writers Union and being in that sort of cultural group, agents was the thing that was presented then, you know. When you go to the meeting, that's what they inform you of. But I don't think it would make any difference. Anyway, so I didn't get one, but I would think if I had to go down that road again, I would probably do the same thing, but I would do it with a lawyer. I would prefer to go with a lawyer, because with a lawyer, if you get into a problem, you still have to go to a lawyer. The agent is not a lawyer. So yeah, I know about lawyers and what they can do. I don't know. I prefer to pay a lawyer than to pay a middleman. That's my thing, you know. Agents are for some other kind of people. I don't think I would dwell too much on that if I was going that road again. I am doing this video for a few reasons, and one of them is so that people will not buy this book. Not because I am doing this video. I don't want people to buy this book, because this book is a slave. This book, my book Squatter, is a slave. Please do not buy it. This video is not for you to go out and buy this book. For me, it's for you not. I don't care about any sales on this book. Please don't buy this book. It is a slave, and I mean it's a slave. There's nowhere in my contract or agreement starting from 1998, nowhere mentioning Ingram or Barnes and Nobles that I have to pay that maintenance. It clearly stated that I don't have to put into maintenance until I get the money I put in to publish this book, ebook, and the paperback. So what they said in here, for me, these names show up after in 2004 and 2005, Ingram for maintenance and all these sorts of different people they sending me this maintenance bill that I have to owe to them for. So this is where I believe this is the voodoo economical part of it, you know, because I really, plain and simple, I don't get it. Their name is nowhere on agreement or contract. So how all of a sudden I have to pay into them for that? Plus it is clearly stated not until I get my money that was paid up front, back in front, 100% out of 300, then that I could proceed to do that. So these are the little things I want to remember for their rebuttal, that they say they had a rebuttal. This here is the first web page I got for my ebook from First Book. I am an author, yes. but I don't consider myself a writer. But I wrote my biography. My biography for me is a great accomplishment. And when you write a biography, and in my case, it took more than 20 years. Meanwhile, I had three children while I was doing this, and also hustling to put food on the table as a single parent. I wasn't married then with my kids. And having done that, I consider what I did in writing my biography better than what a contractor would do when he take a contract to build a house, meaning that he make a contract for X, Y, and Z amount of money and accomplish the work. Some of them run off with your money. I didn't do that. I didn't run off with my time or procrastinate and all these sorts of stuff. I devoted time, money, energy, and love into writing my book. My husband, when I got married and we worked on the sea, when he couldn't find me, he used to come looking for me because we had separate cabin. We could sleep in any, because I'm a worker on board. I'm not a wife on board. I'm a worker on board and I am married on board. Yes, but we had separate cabin. When I get fed up with him, I go in my cabin and write in, and he will come looking for me, nowhere to find me. My writing stayed in my life longer than my husband. So I was married to my work, and I spend money on my work writing my biography. And what Author House has done, I will not rest on them. They have to give me back my money.
The interesting thing about this, though, is that the dates are interesting. When this went paperback, when my equation was made, and and when they got the ESPN number, the dates of them interest me, and the time of which my website with the equation was being scrubbed in Westfield. So that sort of things. But when I think about it, yeah, I could say I have a very, very sick stomach even doing this. Why would you go and make a work of such? You make this was my ebook when in '98. Why did you go and do this as a work of fiction? Why did you do that? Why did you get an ESP number saying that this is a work of fiction? And this has been done just after the scrub. They did this just after they scrub my website of Divine Equation. So there's a link there somehow. So for me, Order House is nothing but, has been, really ridiculous dealing with. This is a picture of Kautokeino in Norway, where they captured. My husband took me to see this site where they captured two of the biggest warships in World War II. So I find Order House just make me sick.
Okay, here it is. This is the way to check the 60 cents came. As you can see, it says Author House and, contains distributors. So when I see distributors and all of that, I'm feeling good right now. So here it is. You see the address they send it to. Remember, this is 2014, right? Very key point, 2014. Check came to Leah Leonardsen. Royalties from Author House. Hooray, hooray, hooray. I'm opening up that time, the direction. I'm following the direction, how to open it up. And so I open up the damn thing. And here it is. I'm going to try to read this stuff for you, but I'm leaving this as long as I can here. So it goes along to say here that it would be good to save paper waste, because I don't know how much of these 60 cents they intend to send. I only got receive 160 cents in 20 years. So it's good to do direct deposit to save paper. Fine, okay. Over here is the kicker. Withholding $0.24. So in your check excluding, and this 60 cents is royalties for the ebook. I don't understand that, but somewhere in the 60 cents have royalties for your ebook. Okay,
So $0. Over here below where the check is actually at. Okay, let's go back here on the top first. Here is where it's saying to send the ID. You must send this tax ID directly to Bloomington, to Orta House in Bloomington, and they give the address where to send this tax ID number to Bloomington, Indiana, so that they could instead of holding future with royalties. Well, if they give me 60 cents now, I don't know what they will give me in the future, So I bypass that, and that's when I call the IRS and the Attorney General, as I said. So this is it. This is Order House, 60 cents. Over here, you will see JP Morgan was paying me the 60 cents. Here you would see $0 and 60 cents. That's what you call Sam tightrope around my neck. So, but, I could tell them what I'll do with the 60 cents already. I'm splitting it between all the states in America. What are the house doing here with the 60 cents Samsung that they are singing? I believe in my mind they really expect me to be scared of that. Like, I must be a criminal, I must be stupid, and I must run and say, oh, the IRS is looking for me for 60 cents. What tax do I pay on that? The IRS. I'm supposed to be scared now because I'm an immigrant. It's the IRS, and submit to them, and fall under them. And I say bullshit because I don't owe you a damn thing. Okay, when I joined Order House, I don't know what Order House problem is. I know that I can feel the pressure of an immigrant. That shouldn't be a problem. If you take my money, there shouldn't be no problem at all. Give me what I paid you for. And they haven't done that, so I want my money back. I want to state that when I copyright in America, in Washington, D.C., my book squatter, I already had my Social Security number. I got my Social Security number easy as an immigrant. I had a return ticket to Trinidad. I stayed because I was in a Pan Am accident. I also got it easy, not for working, but for banking. Because I was a seafarer, I was able to get my Social Security number. It's the same Social Security number I have to this day. Even as I became a citizen, I have the same Social Security number. All they did was lift it, not for working off it, and they gave it to me when I got my green card and went on to become a citizen. So I had a banking account from 86. I was established that way. I had my Social Security number when I copyright. I had my Social Security number when I joined the Writers Union, but I didn't have my green card when I joined the union. I didn't have my green card when I did my copyright. So I was okay in those. I don't know if they're stereotyping me, but what I know they did is messed up my account, and I know that Orta House in Bloomington, Indiana, robbed me, and they robbed me terrible. Terrible. It's terrible robbery. I want my money back from them. Okay, those sophisticated criminals who want to have a plan for my life, I want them to know that I know what is a double play, and I also know what is a LBW. I had was to write an essay about LBW, my first writing in Belmont Methodist School between 13 and 14 years old. So I know what is a LBW, and I know what is a double play. And the sweetest part of it, I used to have to play cricket in the dirt, so I know how to get down and dirty with those criminals they have in Indiana. And I did all of that advertisement in Weston, Massachusetts. Westfield, Massachusetts. I lived in Westfield, Massachusetts. I worked in Springfield, Massachusetts. Right across from the Hall of Fame, the Basketball Hall of Fame. Those company, Order House and Yahoo and Order House, Amazon, all of them, they were living symbols on my car.
One of the things concerned me is that other house waited for me to get to Buffalo. Apparently, somebody knew I was homeless. They never sent that 60 cents when I was homeless. But as soon as I located in Buffalo, that 60 cents was sent. Now, I think that 60 cents was sent for a damn good reason. What you expected me to do? That's the way it was handed down to me. There's how you could find your book. That's how you're going to find. What am I going to say to people? How are you going to get my book? That's what was handed to me. To be or not to be, that's the way I did it. I did it just how it was handed to me. I didn't create that problem. They did. And at the same time, whilst advertising my book, I had was to put in where my book could be found. I had to put in where my book could be found and show on sale. Is that criminology or is that a joke? They knew very well that 60 cents in Manhattan, sending somebody 60 cents in Manhattan will strike up a band. They knew that. They know that Manhattanites are village people and stick together. So they waited until I came to Buffalo. And Amazon, Yahoo, and other house would not ever pay me for the advertisement I did for those companies on my brand new GM car. They could never do it. I know the price of advertisement. I used to work with a man in advertisement who bought my first Macintosh computer for me, and I was to pay him back in labor every week, go up there and scratch out, cut out my price, the price of my Friday pay to get to pay him back. He worked, he advertised for the best black magazine in America, okay? And I know the price of advertisement. Author House, Yahoo, and Amazon could never pay me back and would never pay me for the advertisement they got from me. Please do not misunderstand me. I wouldn't want to know anybody misunderstand me when I said when I say Manhattanites would have strike up the band if they know that a person gets 60 cents under these conditions. This is not to say I'm looking for them to do so now, but by no means. I don't need that kind of thing. But what I do know is that other house apparently know my mentality and what I would have done. Certainly, I was not going to sit down. If I was to walk down by Times Square or the gardens or anywhere there and take chalk and write it up in the street, they knew that I was not going to take this 60 cents lying down in Manhattan. Because in Manhattan, what you have children going to school and all this kind of thing. They're doing the same thing. The young little writers coming up. You have this sort of a cultural background that they are looking for something not like 60 cents when they go out there, freelance writers and stuff like this. They would look at that and question that. That is what I mean by that. But I'm not looking for anyone to strike up the band right now through this. I just want to get what happened out there. Maybe I could help somebody in the Caribbean where I come from, because this look like voodoo economy, they say, but it's really slavery. It is a terrible thing what they have done, because yes, I will always say, when I went with Author House, I love what they was pushing forward. Even though I started in ebook, I saw something good coming out of there. Listen, I give them a ship on the North Sea. I give them holy water from the North Sea. These people is stupider than they're devil people, and they're greedy, and they don't even know how to use a red carpet properly. Peace to those people who put a stumbling block in front of my way for all the years. But I will say, Author House, I won back every black penny you took from me. And even, I can't find the receipt for the $90 where you said you make a cover and make it green. But I'm going to look for it after I finish working. I want back all my money. Give me back all my money, every black penny.